dollars into these communities. So you have to have a relationship with individuals, but more so you need to know you're eligible to go get these dollars. And as the next commissioner, you get your team together, you apply for those dollars to make a difference in your community.
Just one follow-up. The dollars that exist, are they for infrastructure upgrade or other areas? Or does both exist?
Infrastructure is sewer. Sometimes people talk about sidewalk. Transportation has its own department, even within the city and the county. So they have another line item. But infrastructure as far as sewer, sidewalks, upgrades, the piping underneath, the drainage, they have two different line items, and it's not enough to cover. Let's just put it this way. I can only say that where I lived at, it took you 40 years to repave my road. I still don't have sidewalks. I live within the city of Orlando. So I'm in District 5 for the city now. When I was in District 6 for the city, I lived in a community that paid for it themselves.
Right.
But what I'm saying is dollars have been there, but you gotta have somebody fighting to say, these dollars belong in our community when they're doing the budget. And that's where we're lacking. We need people to represent us, to fight for us, to get those dollars earmarked to our district. Ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
I heard you say that this district you have the economic engine. It's Camping World.
Camping World.
Okay, so what can be done to, help improve the quality of life that's kind of gone away? Because they put stuff like Camping World, and then they put the soccer, they put these things in our neighborhood. So I have to hear, if I don't wanna go to Daisy Dukes, or whatever you call it, Daisy Dukes. Yeah, if I don't wanna go to their concert, but I gotta hear it all night. I don't wanna go to the other Brooks, Garth Brooks. I don't wanna go, but I'm impacted by the traffic. So what can be done, what is being done with those dollars to help? Is there a way to even compensate us because you have those things that at the stadium, and the people in the neighborhood, you can't pay us $150, $200 a ticket to go to see. So what's happening with that? And why don't they give a discount to everybody that live in these districts so that we can go to the different events or something creative, because it's really bad.
That's your leadership.
That's for you. You trying to be, you want to be leadership.
As the next commissioner,
Right.
It's a simple thing. Impact. The studies have been completed. We have been studied to death. Implementation is where our problems is. There are dollars that we could ask for, because if you make $100 million from the Electric Daisy concert, which they do, everybody, which violates the noise pollution levels, which is always in our community because they feel like they can do whatever they can in our community.
Right.
But they only allocated from the Electric Daisy less than $85,000 to go to surrounding neighborhood associations. And right now, that is not enough money from $100 million. We are truly impacted. Our roads are impacted. Our health is impacted. What comes in, and all they do is come up and pick up some trash. What happens surrounding Camping World Stadium is really, really bad. The money is there, but you have to have somebody. I'm not going to say because I'm the county commissioner, that is a city issue. No, that is the issue of the district. That's the issue of the people living and residing in the community. You can take tickets and put money aside and put in a trust fund to allocate and make things better for us. You just have to be able to act, and you need to be the person who's willing to not accept what's happened in the past, but say this is what we need to do for moving forward. Or you say no more tourist tax dollars for the Camping World Stadium. You, as the person who will be next commissioner for District 6, if the city comes and asks for any more money, no. You need to listen to the person that's living in that district, representing that district. And if you can't make you happy, and I can't make you happy, then I can and vote for that money to be going back to the city to do these things. So you have to stand up. We deserve more than $85,000. That's no money. Well, you just made $100 million. Yes, Mr.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Mr. Foley, we have one more candidate for circuit judge.
Oh,
May
yes,
I?
yes, absolutely.
And,
Is it almost time?
Certainly.
I'm actually a candidate for county judge.
I'm sorry.
You're close
Yes,
enough, that's fine. My name is Judy Garabo Hayes, and thank you to my friend Camilla. That's important because you can vote for both of us. We're not running against each other. I am an Orlando native. I've lived here since I was 5 years old. Most importantly, we're right here on Bruton Boulevard, and I know you all probably know that Dee Bruton was the first Black woman elected to the city council in Orlando.
but she was not elected.
Or she was appointed, but before that, she was my first grade teacher. So it's a full circle moment for me to be back here. I have been a lawyer since 1999. I worked for Greenberg Traurig, which is a very large multinational firm. I was in litigation. It's not very exciting, I promise. But then I left practicing when I was pregnant, stayed home with my children. Maternity leave turned into eternity leave. That kid I was pregnant with was getting ready to go to college. It's time to go back to work. Over the last 18 years, I've been doing county court work. I do part-time work and I do collections, evictions, a lot of that kind of work in county court. And I was able to see the kind of cases that are coming down the pike in our community. And I see the kind of judge that we need in our community who has the compassion and understands this community. I have a significant amount of experience in all phases of litigation, but doing this work in county court has really inspired me to run for county court judge. County court, as you probably don't know because nobody does, county court is under, cases that are under $50,000, misdemeanors, smaller cases than circuit court. But these are cases that tend to touch our communities a lot more than the circuit cases, which are largely moving money around from corporation to corporation. So I feel that it's very, very important to have a community member as a judge. I went to Oak Ridge High School, I went to Florida State University, Florida State College of Law, was delighted to come back to this community that poured so much into me. My brother was on the radio here on 104.1 for many years. You may have listened to him. I apologize in advance if we offended anyone. I tells a lot of stupid jokes. But I raised my family here over the last 18 years when I've been practicing law part-time. I've done a lot of community advocacy, mostly in the public education system. I've volunteered with OCPS for Leadership Orange. I was on the Unitary Status Oversight Committee implementing the desegregation order. I've been on textbook review panels. My older son, the 18-year-old, he is the plaintiff in the lawsuit that is challenging the book ban in the state of Florida. Because when he went to his library in high school to check out books to read for AP English, he couldn't check out Beloved or The Invisible Man or On the Road by Jack Kerouac. So we won that in the Middle District of Florida. It's on appeal to the 11th Circuit. We fully expect that case will go to the Supreme Court, and I'm beyond proud of my son for stepping up to be the plaintiff in that case. But that's also what inspired me to run, because I can see that at this particular moment in history, judges are the last backstop protecting democracy, protecting the Constitution, and protecting everyday people like us. And so I'm honored to run for this position, and I would love to take any questions that anyone might have from my kids.
You were a plaintiff's attorney during the evictions and?
No, so I represent, I have a service that, assigns me cases, and so I really do coverage, and I appear on behalf of banks, collection companies, but I'm not very good at it because I always end up working, I settle a lot of these cases, and so they give me the authority to settle them with the debtors, and I don't think any of our cases have gone to trial. We've always been able to work out settlements that are within the range of what the debtors can afford and what we work with them, within the structure of what they can afford to settle their debt for. There's a lot that I can't say about what I do, so I'm trying to convey the work that I do with our community in mind and try to help people. And that's a lot of the cases on county court. Let's say if I'm in criminal and I get a case where someone has lost their driver's license, I have the authority to help work with that person to get them their driver's license. And I'm not gonna put them in jail. I'm gonna help them get their driver's license so that they can go to work, so that they can continue to support their family. And I think that that's the kind of problem solving that we need to look for in our county judges. Yes.
And your opponent?
So I am running against, Mark Miller is his name. He was appointed to the bench by Ron DeSantis. And I firmly believe, again, that we should be able to elect our own judges. And that's why I'm running. Judicial elections are on your August ballot. That is a primary election, but so it's a countywide election, circuit-wide for the circuit judges. It is going to be on everyone's August ballot, regardless of your party affiliation. So it's a nonpartisan race, which is why I can't say a lot of what I'd like to say, but it is on your August ballot for everyone. Yes.
Do you feel that you would be more effective as a lawyer litigant versus a judge, or?
Thank you, that's a great question. I feel like I can make the most impact and help the most people as a county court judge. Because as a lawyer, I have to argue the case that I'm being paid to argue. And sometimes as a lawyer, we don't always have control over the clients that we get. And so my passion and my interest is protecting justice. I want justice to be my client. I want the community to be my client. And so I have always wanted to be a judge for that reason, because I think that I can do the most good and help the most people by honoring and protecting the judicial system, the Constitution, and the laws that govern society. Yes.
When looking up, like when researching judges and all these seats that are being ran for, what's the best sources for people to be able to see what your track record had been in the community? And this kind of goes for all the people that are running. Like, where can we find the information so that we can kind of vet you guys ourselves?
That is a really good question. So for judges, one of the best things that you can do is talk to other lawyers. And because throughout time immemorial, whenever the elections come up, I get a ton of phone calls, and all the other lawyers probably do too, with people saying, who are these people and who do I vote for? So they ask the lawyers for their opinions, which is why it's important to look at our endorsements. And if you go to my website, it's judyforjudge.vote. You can see the other lawyers that have endorsed me and community activists and advocates. I've done a lot of work with Moms Demand Action, and so we have a lot of community heroes, who are endorsing me. So writ large, I don't know the answer to that question, because you can look to social media and see what people are saying, but you have to take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes you just never know.
So the answer to your question, and it's not out just yet, is the League of Women Voters of Orange County will have all the judicial candidates on their website with links to the candidates' websites. The league does not endorse. They're like this organization. They're there to help people register to vote and to encourage them to then go vote. And that'll be available sometime probably in June, because we haven't had the qualifying period yet.
Right.
Okay.
And I can speak to that because I'm a longtime member of the League of Women Voters, and I just found out this morning that we're doing our judicial candidate forums in June and July. We do one for circuit and one for county. We will invite all of I'm speaking on behalf of the league now. We will invite every candidate that is qualified. The qualifying period is April, so we'll have one for county and one for circuit. Those are in June and July. After those are conducted, they'll be online, and you can watch the live stream where the judges or the candidates have not only talked about their positions, but they've taken questions. For me personally, I love to go to community meetings like this and answer questions. So you're gonna get tired of seeing me because I'm gonna be everywhere. And I've been to Apopka, and I've been to Waterford Lakes and Hunters Creek, and everywhere, it's a big county. And to me, as a voter, I've always looked to see which candidates are getting out there and answering questions. And it's, the best thing that we can do as candidates is take these questions and answer them and, be as open as we can about our positions and our values and our priorities, so that you as voters can make those educated decisions. That didn't help you as much as it could, but, and another thing that I will say is look at your community organizations, and if any of them are putting out voter guides, that's a great way to get that information and see who they're endorsing. Yes.
This isn't a question, but this is in response to the young lady's question over here. The site for the League of Women Voters is vote411.org.
Yes.
And they try to list every candidate, and as the lady over here mentioned, they do give you connections or links to the candidate site. So it's vote411.org, and that's the site that you can go in based on your precinct or how you're registered, it'll give you what's on the ballot for your particular ballot. Who's running for in your area for that particular ballot.
Yes, and that's a
let me say-
wonderful
Let me
source.
say, this is the thing that I always advocate, is that you go through and find out who the candidates are, because to vote the top of the ballot and not vote down is a disgrace, or you're shorting your community. So, try to find out, vote down the ballot and go and find out who these candidates are, so that you can get representation within your community. For all of these people that are running, go out and do your research. I'm a poll clerk. I've been a poll clerk for years, and I tell you, I see people come in, they're in there 2 minutes, I know they haven't voted the full ballot. And people will come in and ask me, who should I vote for? I can't tell you who to vote for. So I'll leave it there, but vote411.org is an excellent site. There are other sites also, but that is one.
And it is eminently nonpartisan. The league takes pains to make that a nonpartisan space and to give all of that information. Yes, sir.
I just want to say to all the candidates, I think it would be a real good idea if you remember to say your full name, because everyone may not know the one, like I know the one and her mom, since way back when. But make sure you say your full name so people will remember that. I may not do a lot of reading, but I will read, oh, she was at that meeting with the voters meeting and that kind of thing. Just highlight what she was saying. That's all.
Okay, I guess by rule or whatever state regulations, how long can you practice as a candidate for? Up until election day?
I think so, yes, I think so. I have curtailed my practice. I am not practicing currently because I wanted to be on the campaign trail and devote full time to that. And my son who's going to college, I just want to suck up every second that he's still in my house.
Yes.
So, any other questions?
No,
And thank you, Chief Garabo Hayes, and I will be on your August ballot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On the agenda, minutes of last meeting, everybody should have received a copy of the minutes, unless you have, some specific, change, I'm gonna entertain a motion to approve them. And so you can move along. I'll have who made the motion.
Not in here.
I'll make the motion.
It's a bit close, so I'm gonna take it.
Okay,
This is not a playground.
moved by the secretary and seconded by the assistant secretary, okay? Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor, can you please signify by saying aye? Any opposed? Hearing none, the minutes of the last meeting are approved. Financial report, treasurer.
Good morning.
Morning.
This report is for the period of January 1st through Friday, which is yesterday, the 12th. We had an opening balance of $16,564.48. Income for the period was $211.79, which consisted of $200 for membership dues and $11.79 for interest earned. Expenses were $1,315.37, consisted of $710.88 for outreach, which was the Asala breakfast, as well as the NAACP luncheon. Business services, $500, that was our webmaster. Advertising, $23.40, that was postage for letters sent out to churches. And for Adopt a Precinct, we spent for the Maitland election, which we worked this past Tuesday, $81.02 feeding the volunteers from our organization. So our total expenses were $211.79 for the period. Total income was $211.79 for the period. Expenses were $1,315.30 for a net change of minus $1,103.51. Closing balance as of March 12th, yesterday, $15,426.07. Any questions?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
you said you spent how much for NAACP luncheon?
$400. Table of 8.
Okay.
Okay. I'll pass this around for you to look at it. Make sure it gets back to the sergeant at arms when you're done. No questions? Thank you.
So just, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the financial report subject to.
Move it.
Audit.
Move it.
So moved, is it seconded?
Second.
Okay, moved by the parliamentarian and seconded by Art McClendon, that the financial report be accepted, subject to audit. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Are those in favor, please indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's approved. Dr. Priestley.
Okay, I'd like to thank the 3 members of our organization, or actually 4 members of our organization that worked the Tuesday election, this past Tuesday, for the city of Maitland. DeVal was one, Gloria was the second, Larry, and myself. It was a pretty smooth day. I think we had 741 people that came through to vote. We only had 2 precincts, the other at the city hall at 850. So it was pretty steady, all day. There was only one ballot initiative, not initiative, but election, and that was for District 2 on the city council. And I don't know whether you know, but a friend of ours, not necessarily a friend of ours, but somebody that some of you may know, Keith Gibbons won, which I think was a surprise for a lot of people, but was great. And it was a good day.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
Mr. Gibbons,
gone.
I believe is the first African American.
Yes.
Yes.
Since Reconstruction.
Since
Yes.
Reconstruction. Yeah, it's something. Isn't it? All right. Okay. The president's report. Yes.
Before you go, what was the voter turnout in Macon? You talked about that a lot.
We had, just for election day, as I said before, we had 741, and the other precinct had 850, so that's over 1,500 right there. But the early voting and what was the mail-in votes were, I don't know, only like 7 or 8% of the vote. So the actual figures would be on the supervisor elections website. Yeah, just go to that, you can see exactly what the turnout was.
Likely to be around 20% turnout.
Yeah.
I understand that, Cleveland had about 20,000.
I see
That's
it.
about right.
I see the green.
Evil had almost 29% turnout.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
So, think that.
It's getting better, but
I know.
29% is nothing to brag about, to be frank. But I
It's
understand.
better.
It's better than 10%.
Yes, it's better than less than 10%.
7%.
All right. My report's gonna be very, very fast. The Asala breakfast, really was excellent. The Association for the Study of African American Life and History, founded by Carter G. Woodson. This is the 100th year of Black history being recognized. And it's the 50th year that it's been a month. In 1976, President Ford made it Black History Month. It was just a week before that. And I think when it started, it was just a day. But I really want to commend the president of the Dorothy Turner Johnson branch of Asala, who happens to be a member of the Voters League, and that's Manuel Jones. Thank you very much. It was very wonderful event. Probably the large, I think 130, 140 people that attended. So it was very successful. And I'm really proud that we supported that. Second, that was on February 28th, the NAACP Civic Engagement Luncheon. I happen to be the Civic Engagement Chair for the NAACP, so it was on me. It turned out to be well attended as well, not as much as I'd like, but it was very well attended. Incredible amount of information given by the speaker, who is Genesis Robinson, the executive director for Equal Ground Education Fund. just giving us an update on exactly where the legislation, Florida legislation is right now. Some of those bills have passed this past week. Some of them are really nightmarish. I mean, just horrific. So that too is good, and we appreciate the voters league supporting it. All voting is local, Florida. I still haven't reached out to them. We do plan to be a part of them, just haven't reached out to them as of yet. The Fierce Urgency of Now Collaborative, that's next Saturday. What that is, we're trying to gather up civic and faith community leaders to discuss the best ways of getting out the vote in November. And so you all are invited. It is Saturday, March 21st, starting from 10 a.m. to noon. It will be at New Covenant Baptist Church, room 211. That's 1 week from today. Yeah, Rio Grande, Pastor Rose. I forgot what Pastor Rose's first name.
Leroy.
Leroy, okay. He says Pastor Rose, you never think about that.
Doctor Pastor Leroy.
Oh, okay, all right. But this is an effort by
2010 in Rio Grande.
of the address. This is an effort by us, yes, by the Voters League, but we're trying to convince organizations and churches not to work in silos, but to work together. That's really what this is about. So this is just a kickoff event, and as I said, everybody sitting in here, you're invited. There's no exclusivity. There's no elitism. This is about grassroots. And if you can't make it, maybe you can send someone that you think would be help have some ideas. But the only bad idea is no idea at all. We need to plan early. We can't be talking about planning in August, in September. We've already lost it. Our failure has been a failure to organize. Those whose voices that we may oppose politically, and we're nonpartisan, but we're incredibly political. Those voices are organized. They're well organized. And we have failed to work together to be as organized and as effective. So that's what we want to do. We invite you. We've sent out to more than 30 churches to invite you to it. Again, it doesn't have to be the pastor. It could be the social justice, social action person of the church, or any other members of the church. All right?
Mr. Collison,
Yes.
could you please provide that information one more time?
Oh, sure.
The date and time.
Yeah. Saturday, March 21st. It's at 10 until noon.
10.
And it's at New Covenant Baptist Church. And it's on Rio Grande. What's that address?
2010.
2010 Rio Grande. And it's going to be in room 211. Room 211. 2210.
And I'll put the information on the Orange County Voters League Facebook page also.
So this is a kickoff.
Now, also, the other way that works is along with the second floor, going to the bathroom. And we already got the carnival activity going on that day. You have all kinds of things to park, and then you have access to the second floor.
Hi.
Mr. President, we have a young visitor.
Oh, yes, I wanted to, each one of you were given this speech opposing the termination of temporary protected status for Haitian immigrants. This is a speech I gave back in late January. I'm sharing this with you because it is really important for us not to ignore any of the people in our community. Any of them. Many Haitians live in District 6 and 7.
My neighbor.
Yes, and there's been to me a lack of support, a lack of concern for the Haitian community. Not just here, but just really nationwide. on February 3rd, has temporary status for Haitians who go to end on February 3rd. The administration, the federal administration was not going to extend it. They wanted to round up 200,000 plus Haitians and forcibly deport them back to a failed state that is run by a bunch of gangs. And, well, a federal district court judge, that's why judges are important, put a stop to that. So, but it's not over because the administration isn't gonna stop. Okay, but this, it's really important for us to care about the Haitian community, the Venezuelan community, the Hispanic community, and Latin community, and whether they care about us or not. It really is important. It's not just about us. Because on any given day, we can become the other as well. And so that's my commentary, because this is really important and we cannot ignore it. We've seen, listen, if white Americans can be executed live and nothing happens to the shooter, the shooters, what do you think? What do you think? Not a single officer has been investigated or arrested for either the good or Freddie kill. Freddie was lying flat. And they shot him 9 times. Nobody's been arrested. So what do you think? Is that not a message to us all? All right, yes, that's it. Welcome, Madam Vice President.
I told you I had to go.
I know, yes. I want to take a moment also to do that. You know, we here at the Voters League, we're trying to encourage young people to be involved in the political process. And we're trying to invite them here. And I want to thank our Assistant Secretary for inviting a Florida A&M School of Law, first-year student. So, Nia, would you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you.
Oh, yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Nia Battle. I met Miss Preston here about 2 weeks ago at Waffle House. You know, I was going to get some breakfast, and she invited me to come sit with her and her husband, and it was great. There was a wonderful conversation, and she told me about you guys and the organization, and I honestly, I told my mom immediately when I got in the car, so I think I found a community. I'm not from here. I live in Lakeland. I went to school at Louisiana State University. So I'm near the Orlando area, and I'm just elated to be here. I was definitely on my phone texting my classmates right when the meeting started. Guys, you need to come get involved with this. A lot of them have lived in Orlando their entire lives, and I'm pretty sure they're unaware of everything that's going on within their community. And it's amazing to hear that you are the Green Ribbon Tour. They've been very involved with Florida A&M. And then years of former adjunct professor, I'm currently in contracts right now, so thank you. But yes, it's wonderful to be here. The information is very helpful, and I look forward to passing this along to my 1L classmates, 2L classmates, 3L classmates.
Ms. Preston has this reputation. She does not take no for an answer. And her husband is just so quiet. He just knows his place. So I call them like this Daisy couple. He's always driving Miss Daisy. But this is not a family. And I really encourage you to encourage your classmates to join us. Because we're going to need your energy and your intellect to help us. We're trying to pass the torch on. This isn't something I'm going to be in until I draw my last breath. we would like to get a team so we can continue this. That's what we like to do. All right. I know you've been here before, but would you introduce yourself and tell us, because we want the young folk to keep coming back. Let's see, Miss Stella, she's got plenty of things to do. That's okay.
Well, hi, my name is Deborah Green. I recently joined the NAACP organization like last December. But I've been coming to a couple of meetings and then I was invited. So she told me where to go, it's like, every second Saturday, 6 a.m. at the community center, you need to be there. And I was like, okay, I will be there. But I've always been very kind of interested and concerned about voting and kind of getting people registered to vote because, you know, I have siblings, older brothers who don't believe in the voting process and everything, and I would always get frustrated because I'm like, our ancestors, what they went through to make sure we could be able to have it, and people are just not trying, not interested. They don't believe that their voice matters. So I'm very interested in kind of coming, learning more, getting the information. And I did not realize that there would be people who were running for positions coming and, you know, talking to the community and giving that information out. So that's also important to me. So I'm gonna be coming to more meetings. I'm gonna be inviting my cousins, I'm gonna be inviting my brothers, I'm gonna be inviting people that I can get to come here. Because they don't think that anybody sees them or hears them, but if you come and see, they will know that there's people that are here and they wanna hear from you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. The Betty Preston effect. Anything for the good of the order or any announcements? Yes.
I know I spoke it earlier, but this is Patricia Bronx. She says to tell my whole name. And we talked about petitions. And regardless of where you live, you can sign a petition. And I would appreciate if you sign a petition. There's two ways that a candidate qualifies on the ballot. Our name is not on the ballot. We either get 1,000 of these things signed, or for a county commissioner, I pay $5,000. So I don't have $5,000 right now. But so I'm asking each one of you to please sign a petition for me. Fill this out and sign it before you leave. Okay. Thank you very much.
And signing the petition is not a commitment to vote per se.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome, Ms. Brown.
And they can be in the entire Orange County.
Yes. So thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have to live in your district?
I just wanted to take a minute to, thank the Florida Voters League for being a, supporter of ASALA, the Association for the Study of African American Life
Do we have to live in your
History.
district?
And, as Larry mentioned, this is our 100th year of Black History. The theme for the year is a century of Black History commemoration. And thank you so much for the partnership. I'd like to thank Larry for being a part of our organization and on the board. So thank you for being there at our Black History Month lecture. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't know who I talked to, but I recently started activating, looking at the voter files. I was just in, Jacksonville last night where the conversation is coming up about purge voters, inactive voters. I really need to get my team with your team or whoever, because we've already identified just for District 5 last election, 129 people that has been deemed inactive, including my super voter nephew. He was deemed inactive, but he voted in the November 4th election. He recently got his new voter card, but downtown at supervisor election, they don't know what's going on. We do have an audit trail, but it's happening no matter what type of county you have. Orange is Democrat. It's something happening where we're seeing inactive going to super voters and they're being purged off the list.
Well, we are addressing that issue. I can tell you, we had the supervisor of elections office here in January.
Okay.
We requested, because when I went to the office following the November election,
Okay.
I wanted to see specifically how many people were registered in District Five.
Mhm.
It was 26,000 plus,
Right, correct.
and less than 10% voted. But the number that really caught my eye was 6,500 inactive. 6,500. So when the office came in January, they said, well, if you request it, we'll give you that information. So what we requested was a list of inactive for cities 5 and 6. And so we have that list. I have shared it with our executive committee. But I heard from one member, that can't be true, but it's possible for it to be true. We don't know who's triggering that inactive. You're supposed to be inactive if you miss two general elections. So that would be 2022 and 2024. 6,500 votes. So we have, yes.
So I actually met with the supervisor of elections on that when there was a new law that was passed in Tallahassee, and they've indicated that any returned mail from the supervisor's office can trigger a change to inactive status. That's terrifying.
Yeah, so, yeah, this is, no, it's not good, because I suspect that the current governor is going to insist that the supervisors of elections for all 67 counties purge those inactive before the November election. Might even do it even before, in the August primary.
Right, and that will affect candidates who are collecting petitions, because if your petition is deemed to be signed by an invalid voter, it can get people removed from the ballot, like it can cause invalidation of their candidacy.
So this is the confusing nature of what we're in. I mean, but this is the effort to compress the vote. So.
It's just, I had to bring it up.
No.
Because we're concerned, but he got his new voter registration card and he voted in November. And so for him to be, when he came up, because he's always one of the people I check to see, and then we started finding so many people that did vote in November, but now is deemed inactive.
That's, okay, I see Rufus and then me. I don't.
I was first.
Oh, okay.
I have, heard or come to, I haven't verified it, but just because you got the new voter's card in the mail, doesn't mean that you're good.
Yeah.
I'm telling people to just, even though you got the card, that you would think that means that everything is clear, but apparently not. You need to still check with the,
I don't, yeah, this is, go ahead, Rufus, because I want to just tell you something that happened in the Maitland election that was really concerning us. People were coming in saying, this is, on their voter registration card, it said that the polling place that they came to, our polling station, was the precinct they were supposed to vote in. And it wasn't. Now, we learned later that what happened, what's on their voter registration card is their county precinct, but not the city of Maitland. But nobody said that, nobody told them that. So they came to what was on their card. And so we had, luckily, there were only 2 precincts, so it was only a couple of miles away. So we were able to get them over to there, but we had like maybe 10 people, like at least. So we could see a lot of confusion in August. And then again in November.
Yeah.
One of the things that, for young people, to know, a lot of young people register in PA, no party affiliation. Well, the only, in August, the only vote you will be able to cast is for judges.
And nonpartisan races.
Yeah, and nonpartisan races. But they may want to be voting for attorney general or governor or US senator, and they won't be able to do that. That's one of the negatives of in PA.
It's
Yeah,
called a
because
closed
Florida
primary.
is a closed primary state.
Yeah.
So only Democrats can vote in Democratic primaries, only Republicans can vote in Republican primaries. But NPAs, independents, whatever you want to describe yourself, you're limited. And we see this because we staff these polling place. We see young people walk in, they're ready to, energetic about voting. And then they find out, well, wait a minute, my ballot doesn't have the governor on it, or the US senator. Well, look at your voter registration card, it says NPA, no party affiliation. And so then we have to educate to say, this is a closed primary state. So that's something you gotta talk to your relatives about, your kids, grandkids, whatever, because it limits who you get to vote for in the primary. Now, of course, in the general election, everybody gets to vote regardless. Just one vote, those little things. Yes, B?
I just think though that's a way that we may be able to get more young people, because what I hear from the young folks in my house is, well, what's this party done for us? What's that party done for us?
Can I talk to those people at your house?
Eat your Wheaties, but you're welcome. But I'm just saying, young people, it's like they're kind of, not in general, not every, but they're so apathetic.
Yeah.
And so I'm nonpartisan, because I just got up to here, I'm over it. All right, so that just may be a way to bring people in, is what I'm saying.
Well, it is, because
So we explain it, I agree.
Yes, in 2024, and it is today, here are the facts. More than, there are 815,000 registered voters in this county. Over 300,000 of them are Democrats. The second largest group in PA. Republicans are the third. And so Orange County in 2024, 75% of the registered voters voted. But what I communicate to people is this. You know what that 25% represented? 211,000 people did not vote. And across the state, it was more than 2 million. And that's why we're having this fierce urgency and now collaborative. It's a whole ideas. I think part of the education process is to tell people about the impact of NPA. So I do see another candidate that has come in. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I had a question.
We try to end between 11:15 and 11:30, and the parliamentarian's gonna hold us to it. So go ahead.
Okay, you and Luana mentioned two different terms, inactive and purge list. Is that the same thing?
No, they're not. If you're inactive, you're likely to become purged. Okay, there's no quote list of purge. It's what they do.
Because once you purge,
You gone, you don't exist anymore.
Okay, so, what's the drop dead to cure your becoming purged to be able to vote in office?
Well, I think,
Or how does that work?
well, most people don't even know they're inactive.
Okay.
So that's part of what I think our challenge is trying to make sure we inform the people that they are in the inactive status. It may very well be that they didn't, they might not have, the mail might have been returned. It could have been, and some of them may not have voted in the last 2 elections. So they need to reinstate, just call in. You can just literally call the supervisor elections office.
Do you know a drop dead date on that?
I don't think there's just one. No, I don't think there's if you're a registered voter, you could do it probably even the day of, but you
No.
have to be already in, I think.
That's not true.
No,
There are dates, and if you go to ocfelections.com, which is the supervisor's site, the dates will be listed. There are drop dead dates for when you can register.
Oh, yes, that's not what he's asking about.
But if you want to look and see if you're purged or restore your status, it still has to be within that time frame, because you cannot walk up on the day of the election if you're inactive.
Oh, no, you're correct about that. I think he
doesn't
was
like
asking,
being
is
still.
there a drop dead date for people who are in an inactive status? And I don't know, if you notify that you are who you are, I think you're a registered voter. But
So if you're inactive, you're gonna get purged before
I think,
the election day.
yeah, that's
what
my,
it seems to me.
that's my suspicion. Now,
Okay.
I kind of feel that's what's gonna happen. Because the next election, general election, is this year. And that will be your third time, and they don't give you a third time.
But the supervisor of election, she's aware of it, so as we're turning in petitions, some of those voters of the petitions are saying inactive. And so the supervisor of election is working on a process to contact the inactive voters. So if you're inactive, they're not, that's the Florida legislature. So a petition, filing a petition for a candidate is an act of voting, right? You are engaging. But the Florida legislature says, nope, that is not what you need to do. So as the candidates, if I'm finding people, because I'm verifying them before I submit them, so if I find that they're inactive, if they have their numbers, I'm calling them and say, listen, call the supervisor of election. If that person picks up the phone and call the supervisor of election, say, I'm so-and-so, they are now active. It's just that simple, but they are not, it's a trick. Guys, we used to have to count marbles in a jar, right? Jelly beans. So I'm telling you, I don't want to hear it. These people got a whole bunch of tricks for us, but if our ancestors had to count jars of jelly beans, Fannie Lou Hamer had to die, we still need to do what we need to do. So I'm telling you, just pick up the phone and call the people and tell them that I'm registered. And so for the candidates that are in here, I know it's cumbersome, but sometimes I'm staying up 10, 11 o'clock. I'm verifying them on the supervisor of election because they have the name, the date of birth, and some of those petitions say inactive.
So anybody can go on this site?
And so, yeah.
And just to check to see. if
Yeah, you
they're
put your
active?
name and your date of birth, you put your, verify your stuff, get everybody in your house. Signing a petition does not reactivate you. Calling the supervisor election will reactivate you. And just remind people, listen, people used to have to count jelly bean jars to vote. What is our problem? And that seems to be working.
You want something different?
So what is the website?
OCFelections.com.
Say what?
OCFelections.org.
OCFL,
OCF elections, the word election.
OCF election.
Yeah.
OC.org. And then if you're like me, I just, in Google, I just put Orange County
Oh,
Supervisor
.gov,
of Election.
Yeah.
I just put Orange County Supervisor of Election, because I don't, not that tech friendly. I mean, Orange County Supervisor of Election. Yeah.
It's .gov.
Let me say this.
Hold up, folks, hold up.
That has to be spelled out. It has to be spelled out. It is completely OCF with the word elections spelled out, .gov. It has to be spelled out.
Okay?
Thank you.
Elections with an S.
Okay. Mr. Sparrow.
Yes, this is very quick. Can anybody put out their wallet or their pocketbook and show me their birth certificate or their passport? Anybody in the room that has a birth certificate or their passport, only one.
I'm gonna get something?
Yeah, well, House Bill 991 is,
It's passed.
it's something that everybody needs to know.
Passport.
It ain't easy.
It's for passport.
All right, I do wanna give, because one of the things that we're trying to do is make sure that the candidates, we do not want, we want to be fair to all candidates. So, here.
Oh, just 1 second. My name is Heather Pierre Joseph. I'm running for Orange County Commission District 6. My website is vote, V-O-T, Heather, HEDDER.com. And thank you for allowing me to speak.
Mr. Parliament, anything else? We do usually have, we have food in the back. We're gonna adjourn. I wanna thank you all for coming. We meet the second Saturday of each month at 10 a.m. Invite your friends. The Smith Center is undergoing a lot of renovations. So next month, we may request to use a different room than this. So this is 2 months in a row where we feel like we're, sorry. or deeds
We
here.
like it though.
I know, we do like this rule, but so we'll see. Okay. Anything else? Okay, yeah. Announcements?
Oh, there we go.
I did something this past Saturday.
Okay, well, just, go ahead, Dee.
Good morning, y'all. He Got Up is a program where we help people with suspended driver's licenses, and you already about it. We meet here April 18th, and I believe correctly.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
be
be here registering voters, giving information. We are really nonpartisan, but we like for people to get information. So we don't have community partners in the gym. Come out if you know somebody that's struggling with paying court costs, fees, and fines, etc. All right, April 18th, right there.
I have another announcement. In the same thing, there's a sealing and expungement event, on, at the Northwest Neighborhood Center. If you have been arrested and your charge was withheld or dropped, you need to regularly expunge your seal. You go to this workshop, the clerk of court is there, the public defender's office is there, the state attorney's office is there, and the sheriff's office is there. You do all your fingerprints and get everything done in one place, one-stop shop.
And what day
So
is
that
that?
is on the, I need my glasses. April 11th, Saturday, from 10 to 3. And that's at the Northwest Neighborhood Center on WD Judge Drive.
That's our meeting day too.
It's till 3.
Yeah, right, you can do it afterwards, right? Come on, I think you said you had an
I
announcement.
just wanted to say, I missed your luncheon, but I had already planned to go to Selma, so I am committed to go every year to Bloody Sunday. And it was wonderful, and it was a major tribute to the late Reverend Jesse Jackson. But to be there again and know the shoulders that ones are standing on and the fight, and there's still a few people that will cross that bridge that are still alive and still give their testimony and share with us. It was wonderful. So next year I've already recruited about 5 more of my cousins. So they're like, we're getting in, we're going with you, because it's just something to be there to know what has went on and why we have the right to vote. And those shoulders.
Yeah, it's, as a result of that, the Voting Rights Act was passed. Well, but everyone listed up. Louisiana versus Calais is a Supreme Court case that we're expecting a decision any day. That will probably effectively end the voting rights. On that note, Chaplain, would you close us in prayer? Chaplain?
Well, what are we gonna do? What?
Let's close out and ask after. Close out and we'll ask all the questions.
Heavenly Father, we thank you once again for what we've heard. My God. And we ask, oh God, that you continue to grant us your grace as we depart from this place and till we meet again. Amen.
Amen. Okay, well.
You too. You too.